New Day viewers have been learning a lot about a Washington state law aimed at helping pull more homeowners back from the brink of foreclosure, but the word still needs to get out. The attorneys at Advantage Legal Group have helped many homeowners, and attorney and company founder Jonathan Smith is back with more success stories. Welcome back.
Thank you. Good morning.
I love talking about this because I think it's really important that people know about this law, and the only way they're going to know is if we tell them, because nobody is obligated to tell them in the foreclosure process. What is the Washington State Foreclosure Fairness Act?
Yeah, there's probably going to be between 19 and 23,000 Washington residents facing foreclosure in 2014 before we get to the end. So while the economy has improved and housing prices have risen, there are still thousands of people that are in deep trouble that are trying to desperately save their homes. And what the Washington State Legislature provided for people was an opportunity to force most lenders to enter into face-to-face negotiations. And the way this occurs is we make the referral, and the Washington State Department of Commerce then stops any sort of foreclosure activity, and they force us into mediation with the bank and their attorneys to try and come up with a payment that the homeowner can afford and save the house from foreclosure.
So instead of endless paperwork, finally you get to the table. Do you have to have an attorney to do this?
Well, you have to have a housing counselor or an attorney must do the referral. You can't do it yourself. And the main reason for that is they really wanted you to be prepared, because this is an adversarial process. You have attorneys on the other side who are not there to help you. They're there to get this case, their case dismissed, and so that the bank can move forward with foreclosure. Our job is to stop that from happening.
And you need to have somebody on your side in a situation like that. But let's look at some ways in which you've really helped people. One client with a former payment, I think, of more than $2,000. What happened here? Yeah,
and of course, past performance is never indicative of future results, and everybody's situation is different, and your situation will depend on your individual circumstances. This is a situation, I believe this was a Bank of America situation, where the old interest rate was 6.75%, and the old payment was over $2,000 a month. We got this reduced to a 2.675 interest rate with a new payment of $1,197.15 per month, which was a reduction of $831 a month. And I think that's a set fixed price all the way out for 40 years. And that client is now can breathe easy, that the nightmare is over.
Stay in their home, make their payments, and they go forward. The second customer had a mortgage payment of almost $2,700, which is a lot of money, and so obviously you changed an interest rate here, and that made an enormous difference in the payment.
Correct, and a lot of these people were 36, 42 months behind. I believe the second one was also a B of A customer. They were at a 5.875%, an old payment of $2,686. We got them to a flat 2% interest rate, and the payment is now $1,939 a month, which is a $365 reduction in price, which again, they're current, and now they can make that for the next 40 years and live in their home comfortably.
All right. And a third client, their old payment was about $1,700. What happened here?
This was a much higher interest rate. I think this was SPS was the bank in this case. It was a 7.42. Old payment was $1,700, and we got them down to a 4.125. And the new payment is $1,075, which is a $635 reduction over their old payment.
And then a fourth client had a whopper, over $5,000 every month.
This was a big one. Yeah. They were old interest at 4.75 and a $5,000 a month payment. We got them down to 2%, and the new payment is just $2,280 a month, which is quite a reduction. And what they didn't put on there was a principal reduction in this case too of about $60,000, $70,000, which really helped to get that payment down by having the principal reduction.
How do you get banks to agree to that?
Well, we go into this mediation, we present a package to them with your situation and your income, and it's negotiated between us and the banks in face-to-face. Typically, the Act provides for 1 2-hour or 3-hour mediation session. The reality is it's 2 to 3 mediation sessions to get the whole process done. But it's a lot of paperwork back and forth, so there's a lot of labor involved in getting this done for people.
It's a good thing this law passed in the state. It's given a lot of people some kind of toehold to get out of the hole they were in. But once again, they need an attorney or a housing counselor.
Right.
And obviously they need to know about the law. So one of the things that everybody asks is, do I qualify? How do people find out?
Well, of course, we give free initial consultations. So if you are in this position, you've been trying to get a modification done and you can't get it done, they're moving towards foreclosure, even if they're not yet, call our office at 1-877-MEDIATION. That's 1-877-MEDIATION. Or go online to our website at AdvantageLegalGroup.com. AdvantageLegalGroup.com. We'll be happy to meet with you and go over all your options with you and lay them out, and you have no obligation. It's a free consultation.
And just find out if this applies to you. Now, you've had clients on our show before, and I always enjoy meeting them because they've had the weight of the world lifted off their shoulders when they finally get out from under this. People, when they come to you, have often been through an incredible number of months and rounds of efforts to try to get the bank to the table.
The stress is incredible. I mean, most of these people, especially the Bank of America people who've now moved on to Aqua, and last one was Aqua, by the way, they've been doing this in some cases for 2 and 3 years. They're a long ways behind.
Yeah.
And the stress levels, it takes a toll on their marriages, it takes a toll on their health, it takes a toll on everything.
On their kids, on the entire family.
Absolutely. So to get them out of the situation, to be able to force the bank to go to mediation in the first place, because under the HAMP and et cetera, the old stuff, the banks kind of make up the rules and they just roll right over you.
Right.
And this forces them to stop, come to the table. And there are some teeth. As long as the net present value of the payments we're offering is greater than what they would get at foreclosure, then that's a defense to foreclosure. And that's really the teeth to the whole thing.
And that's what people need, is just something to move them forward. Jonathan, thank you so much.
Thank you.
You can't lose anything here because you get a free consultation.